What's up, Lucky Gamers? This is Lucky Lux, and today we're going to be talking about the roles in Tower of Fantasy. Going to be basically going over like how you can be a healer or a tank, what they do, what are the bonuses for them, and everything related to that. So if you guys like the video, please hit the like button. Comment down below what you guys think about the roles. If you guys feel like one of the roles or all the roles are like unnecessary, or anything that you have to say. And then also subscribe to the channel if you guys want more Tower of Fantasy content. Anyways, go ahead and hop into the video. All right, so I'm going to be using toweroffantasy.info for this information. It has everything lined up with the weapon type, so I do thank them for creating this site because it makes it really easy. So the weapon types that we have, they say DPS, defense, and support. I'm just going to say DPS, tank, and healing, right? So on your weapons, you will have these symbols, and every weapon that you summon will be put into pretty much a category, right? So you have King, who is DPS, Meryl, who is a tank, defense, and then you have Zero, who is support or healer, right? So, you know, you'll have all those symbols on those characters. They'll do DPS in certain ways, but all in all, they have the roles when you match them up with somebody who also has the same role as them, and that's where you get the resonances. So if you've played like Genshin, you have like, you know, your Cryo, Pyro, Anemo, or Anemo, you have your Geo, and then soon to be Dendro, right? Different resonances. So same thing here for Tower of Fantasy. You have your resonances for each type. And also same thing in Genshin. If you have elements of all four, then you get like a balanced one, which is our first one. So balance is when you have a DPS, tank, and healing weapon equipped, which honestly, if you are not sure what you want to do, if you don't have a character that you are wanting like right off the bat, if you are like really new to the game or anything like that, the balance is going to be the best resonance for you. Why? Because it has everything that you need. Literally, it has everything you need. So if you are unsure, you can rock the SR weapons in those roles in the one SSR that you get, or however you want to do. Just, I really suggest running balance play. It's going to be the best one, especially if you're going to be running solo, going through story and everything, for a reason. Because you're not getting too much of one thing, you're not getting too less of one thing. So the solo play, you get 5% damage increase, 5% damage reduction, 20% shatter, and healing increase. Now you might be asking, what is shatter? Shatter is for the shields. A lot of the enemies that you go against, they have like elites with them. They will have a shield that you have to damage to basically stun them, right? Without getting the shield, you can't stun them, and these enemies will hit you really hard. And you will come to find some of the enemies in the starting area who have those shields, they hit really hard and they will give you a hard time. So having the extra shatter will help. Having the extra healing will help because you'll have a healing weapon, and you'll be able to sustain yourself without using all your consumables, because most likely you'll have so much fun playing the game you won't be cooking your food and keeping up with that, and you'll need a heal and you won't have it, right? And the 5% reduced damage, like, it's just helpful, and the 5% extra damage increase is also helpful, right? And then if you play with your friends, you get a 20% damage increase and a 20% damage reduction. So if all your friends are kind of new, or if you have one that's helping you, you can still get up to 25% damage increase and 25% damage reduction, which is really good. So if you guys are like fighting a boss, if you're doing any of the like dungeons or anything like that, you guys will be fine because you have these bonuses. So again, I recommend this to anybody, honestly, who's doing solo, or you're just really unsure what you want, or you're waiting for a banner or something like that. Do the balance. It's going to be best for you. Brute force. Honestly, I believe this is the worst one to have. I do not like this resonance. It's for solo play while you're leveling, it kind of sucks. Honestly, because 10% damage increase on weapons that already do usually like ridiculous damage is kind of sucks. Now, when it gets to team play, getting the additional 40% damage increase is really nice. And honestly, that's what makes this resonance even better. It makes like you in team play and any team content, you hit really freaking hard. So if you are playing, oh, now hold on, disclaimer: if you suck at your dodging, you don't know how to sustain yourself, you don't know how to kite, you don't know how to like do any, like if you really are bad at that, getting the dodging, do not do this, because this is no sustain, no damage reduction, anything like that. This is for somebody who knows the game. Like if you're doing this, right? So that's my first like requirement, like if you're going to use this one. But anyways, I really do suggest using 2 DPS weapons if you're going to be playing with the team, because that's when your DPS is going to like skyrocket. Honestly, like you can get through most of the game like with there's the balance and being fine and not really maximizing DPS until you get to like to the end. So I just really don't recommend this one unless you're playing again with like teammates. You have really good DPS weapons and you're doing team stuff. If you're soloing, don't use this one. Don't use it. All right, Perseverance. This is going to be your tanking role, right? So for solo play, 25% received damage reduction, 60% shatter increase, and 800% enemy aggro increase, which 800% seems like ridiculous. But for team play, you get additional 20% received damage reduction, giving you a total of 45% received damage reduction. So this is really good if you are playing solo as well, because now the enemy aggro, you might be like, why would I ever want that? Well, here's the thing. The tankier characters, you're taking way less damage, so you can handle getting hit by multiple enemies. Also, you have 60% shatter increase, which helps with those shields that I was talking about. You can break those. And there's most of the tank characters do a lot of damage. Like Meryl, she does a lot of damage. And if you're going for Meryl, you will see why. She has really great crowd control. She has range damage. She has really good like just burst in her kit. So if you're shattering enemies, then that just makes it easier. And we already know that Frost is just really good and solid. So I do recommend this one also for solo play. Now you don't get as much healing and you don't get as much like just outright damage, but you get like honestly a lot more value with that 60% shatter increase and that less damage reduction, because that helps you also if you're not able to dodge as much, right? You're still trying to learn it. This helps you out. And the 800% aggro, it's fine. Most of the tank characters have AoE, and they can take care of like multiple enemies. And then you can just put as your third weapon a healing weapon, which in high-end content, tanks should be running that anyways. 2 tank weapons and a heal. That way you can help yourself out. That way your healer doesn't have to stress because you already have a healing weapon to help yourself out and to help out the DPS to be like a second off healer. But that's like advanced, like tough stuff we'll talk about way later. But again, Perseverance is really good. Blessing, this is your healer role. Solo play, 100% healing increase. Team play, additional 100% healing increase. Now, even me, for being somebody who's going to be focusing in healing, right? This is probably not the best because, like, I have to... The healing weapons have some of the lower damage values. They have the lower shatter. They don't have a lot going for them, right? So for solo play, like extra healing increase is great. But I would only run this if I had a busted DPS weapon. And I was running 2 healing, 1 DPS, just so that I could heal myself outside of like the lack of damage for me taking longer on a fight, right? Just for solo play, like it'd just be really a struggle, right? And as much as like I probably will be running all my healing weapons, I'm just letting you guys know I'm doing it on purpose, right? Don't do this on accident because you're grabbing Nemesis and then you're also grabbing somebody else. Like you're gonna be lowering the effectiveness that you have against the enemies. Like you're not having shatter, you're not having like it's honestly even worse than like the solo play on brute force because like at least those weapons have really high damage values. The support ones do not. And it was very apparent if you watch my stream. When I pulled Cobalt B versus Shiro, like Cobalt B was blowing Shiro out the water, right, with her damage. And that's just what you have in some of the DPS. Like, and those are 2 DPS weapons, but they're just so much better. And same thing as like the SR like staff I had that was healing. Like it just couldn't compete even with the 4-star bow. Like, the 4-star bow is just way better, had 5 times more damage in it. And that's just what it is, right? Some weapons are more supportive, some of them are more built for DPS. So again, that's why I recommend really going with the balance or the perseverance, because they just have things for you with the damage reduction and shatter increase, which really helps. Honestly, the balanced is the best because it gives you the best of, well, it gives you all of these combined into one with really decent values. So just think about that while you guys are doing like picking your weapon, summoning for your characters. Just really take the roles into consideration, because this will help you in group play, and this will also help you while you're soloing. But guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, is just really breaking down the roles for you to help you decide while you're going through the game what characters you want to level with while you're playing Tower of Fantasy. But you guys can catch me on launch day. That night I will be playing it all day, all night. So you can jump into my stream, ask me any questions that you like. Join the Discord. You can also ask me more there, because I have Discord on my phone, so I can literally answer your questions, anything at any time in the Discord. Please join it. Also, subscribe to the channel here. We are, I think, over 1,600 by the time of making this video. If not, please subscribe so we can be over 1,600. And on Twitch, we just hit 300 followers, so I'm really, really happy for all of the support you guys have been giving. So just please keep it up. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.